Where did she go? Out. What did she do? Everything. So begins the sci-fi odyssey and high watermark moment for British comics that within a few short years would collapse like a house of cards in the early to mid 90s. Hey, what's poppin' YouTube? My name's Gray and allow me to welcome you to part 4 of my new series Pop Culture Profiling, where today I shine the spotlight into an area of popular culture few others know, much less care about, as I want to sing the praises of some of the prominent names from within the British comic scene, as I take a look at arguably the star of one of the most important strips it ever produced, the Ballad of Halo Jones. Created and written by industry legend and Northampton's favourite son, the part-time writer and full-time warlock, Alan Moore. And I'm not joking with that statement, he genuinely believes he can channel ancient Egyptian snake monsters. But I guess you have to have a degree of toleration for the eccentricities of geniuses. The other man involved in the creation of Halo Jones is artist Ian Gibson, who had made a name for himself already within the pages of the Galaxy's Greatest Comic with the hit series Sam Slade Robo Hunter, written by another legend, John Wagner. Now, Halo came about largely because Alan Moore was getting pretty sick of the seemingly never-ending procession of super stacked, gung-ho macho chicks that populated comics on both sides of the pond. Halo Jones is an every woman, a young girl who may not know what she wants, but knows she doesn't want to end up like friends who get involved in cults and others who end up brown bread. These events help set in motion the journey that Halo would undertake, literally and figuratively. And in many ways they would mirror her creators, as Alan went from being the big fish in the small pond of British comics to the top of the food chain in America. And he wasn't the only one to bounce for dollars in what would come to be known as the British invasion in the 1980s. Quite a few UK-based artists and writers wound up at Marvel and DC. Pat Mills, John Wagner, Alan Davis, Cam Kennedy, to name but a few. 2000 AD quickly became a shop window, but while many creators would return to the British scene now and again, Alan Moore has stood by his decision to quit 2000 AD, never to return. Ironically, for the very same reason that he fell out with DC Comics: copyright. Alan had big plans for Halo Jones in the beginning and planned for the story to run over 9 books, of which between 1984 and 1986 we only ever got the first 3. Another well-known British comics writer, Neil Gaiman, told the story of how he once met Alan Moore and they went to the pub together, and with a few drinks down him, he worked up the courage to ask Alan about Halo Jones. He then sat transfixed as Alan went into great detail, telling him all about the story and characters he had planned to introduce for the rest of the evening, the outcome of which left Gaiman in tears. Neil since has, out of respect, refused to reveal any of what he was told that night. Now you may be thinking to yourselves, I thought this video was about Halo Jones, not Alan Moore. Well, unlike the subjects of my first few videos in this series, like Sonic the Hedgehog, Optimus Prime and Mario, whose origins and stories have passed through many hands, Alan was the only one who could get inside Halo's head and see what made her tick. And who knows, perhaps one day, the wish I've had for many years that Alan would bury the hatchet with 2000 AD, who have acquired new owners since Alan's departure all those years ago, and we could all see the Ballad of Halo Jones finally play out to its conclusion and share in the tears. Because if it ever did happen, they would be tears of joy. And for any of you comic fans out there, or anyone interested in the kind of multi-layered quality storytelling that Alan Moore does so easily, I strongly suggest tracking down one of the many Halo Jones graphic novels that have been released throughout the years, and see for yourselves why it enthralled a generation of British comic readers. So my name's Gray, thank you for joining me as I reminisced about one of my favourite masterpieces among the many that 2000 AD brought to us. I'll have more videos up soon, so please like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching. and goodbye.